Oh, it's Godot.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Rondelight.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
You're ready. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you pretentious asshole.
Okay, settle down, you pretentious asshole. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Goodell.
Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Cuckoo is here with Kiadane and Ray, and we are continuing Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations.
That's right.
You.
You. I'm coming for you.
Take that!
The sacred urn.
Sacred.
Sacred. Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn?
Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit.
The urn that was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before.
Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake.
A fake?
You're the one who said it wasn't the same, so that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine?
The urn.
Do I have any evidence? Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Kurine Village and had it examined.
Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how.
What she discovered was that the vase was broken. Again.
Did you say again?
Yes. It was broken once, a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too.
Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know?
I think it might be the publicity photo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
there it
one of
goes.
these. There we go. This poster. It was made recently, right?
Poster? The poster for the exhibit.
At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said, "I am," on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says, "Ami." When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed.
Gah! What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that.
It means International Allied Master Computer. And it hates you.
Well, good thing I destroyed it then. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken.
That was a mistake. Now, tell the truth.
Wait.
For?
Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what's happened.
Thanks. Good deflection of blame there. Looks like I still haven't broken the entire psyche lock.
Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor?
Well, Miss Andrews?
What is this supposed to mean?
There's pink paint all over this urn. and there's pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here.
There.
Oh, there, yeah. Here, there, over everywhere. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews.
But
Uh-oh, she's trying to make her escape.
Get her!
you can get pink paint anywhere.
Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there is in my room.
Liar!
Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor. There's no proof that it's the same paint.
Come on, this is getting ridiculous! The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is... Take that! This box. The urn was stored in it, right? In this.
Yes, that's right.
Well, there's pink paint on this box as well. I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
The paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right everywhere. And that is when the urn was broken.
Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright.
Yes, I am right.
Unlock successful.
I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn.
Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher.
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did.
Well, you're only sorry because you got caught.
Yeah. Well, that's not hard to understand, is it, Pearly?
No, not at all. I know just how she feels.
It happened about 2 weeks ago. Just after the poster photo was taken, the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box. When I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, the box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a
Crash.
terrible noise, and I thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box, and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock. Let out a huge scream.
I can totally see how that could have happened.
Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands.
I totally understand.
Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Karain Village. So I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big.
And that's when the I am got changed to Ami?
I didn't know how it was originally written. But any sane person fixing it could have assumed it said Ami.
Any sane person? Really?
Aww.
Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling.
In all fairness, that was probably a lot more complicated in the original.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom, and no one had seen it since then.
But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains.
Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used a goading statue to cover it.
The Ami face statue. Ah! The first time that we came down here, It was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen.
Mr. Nick. There were no paint marks on the walls or floors of the warehouse when we were here.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that goading statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall.
Yeah, and?
I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I see. Now it makes perfect sense.
But there's still one thing I find strange.
What is it, Pearl?
The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At that time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible.
She's right about that.
This 8-year-old more observant than all of you.
Well, Miss Andrews?
What? I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again?
Well, then who was it? Who would have done it, and why?
You know what I'm wondering?
What?
If it was 2 weeks ago that the paint was spilled, why didn't they clean it up?
That's effort.
Like, it's not even like it's a hard surface to clean, it's like metal. Metal and stone, like, you know, there are ways to get that off fairly easily and, you know, efficiently. Anyway, you know, then it wouldn't be a mystery. On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day, it was moved. But why? But why?
Why didn't
Why?
you clean that paint stain?
What? It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case.
Why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night, the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security. So then why did another Mask to Mask show up here?
They're like Power Rangers. There's a bunch of them.
A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact.
Power Rangers.
One undeniable fact.
That they
Power
should have cleaned up that. Yes, Power Rangers too. The murder trial is starting tomorrow. It looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. You know, that thief.
That one.
You know the one. You know it. You've seen it. You've been near it. You've heard it, smelled it,
Licked it.
touched it. Like, yeah. Have a little taste. It's spicy.
Jalapeno.
With a pinch of cumin.
October 14th, 9:41 a.m. District Court's Defendant Lobby number 4.
Hey, Nick!
What is it what is it this time, Maya?
You won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door?
Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Abney's trial today.
Detective Abney?
They say they're going to try him as Mask to Mask.
Already? That was fast.
Boy, I'd love to see Mask to Mask's trial. Not this boring one I'm about to see.
Maybe Ron? I don't know.
I know. By the way, where's Pearls?
Oh, she went back home. She says she can't neglect her training anymore.
I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since that incident last year.
Please don't ignore me!
Ah, Mr. Delight. Good morning.
No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I killed someone.
Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec.
You don't mean you're the murderer? No! I'm just a poor thief! No, wait, that's not right. The thief can't really be. Now let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists.
Do you think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick? Nah.
It's
Yeah.
possible, yeah, but nah, there's no way. But today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time, like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option.
October 14th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 6.
Oh, it's Godot.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
You're ready. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak.
Oh, shut the fuck up, you pretentious asshole.
Okay, settle down, you pretentious asshole. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot.
He's got the judge in the palm of his hands. Yet again.
Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all.
What?
I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot.
I'm right there with you, Judge.
Ha! Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war. But that is exactly why you must But that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording.
He's
Yeah,
like a
Godot.
pretentious English major.
That's all my statement means. You understand now, right?
Yes, well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case.
Yes, I understand. Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change.
The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th.
Lying in an extremely awkward pose.
And for whatever reason, his pupils and irises are missing. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day.
And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant.
Oh! I thought it was an actual kitten.
His hair
I'm a
would
cat,
go great with
meow.
my coffee.
No, not my hair!
Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness.
And please grab your first cinnamon bun.
There are only two, get them while they're hot.
No!
I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. God, I
That-
just have a heart attack thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't have a chair. He has a toilet right behind him.
But the first one is always the best.
Mr. Godot, your witness.
This coffee is my witness.
Okay then. Let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself.
The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but...
If I remember, or not if I remember, I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then.
And I nearly fucked it up.
Yeah, and I did not earn that trust. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify.
Ha! You've got guts, trite.
I've got cuts too.
Alright then, Mr. Rondelite, please take the stand.
You did it, didn't you?
Yes!
What?
Yes. Oh, no! That's not true.
For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever.
That's a good moment.
Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making.
Then once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin.
Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security?
Well, that's kind of hard to say, but I wish I could go home.
Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
My feet hurt. This judge is too loud.
I can make it quieter if you want.
That evening around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KP Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KP Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was.
1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place.
The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up and drown.
Yeah.
Ha! It's bitter today, too. Just like my death.
Oh, come on, dude. I've played this case, but I forgot just how full of himself he is.
You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Alright, let's do it. That hit me around 1 a.m. I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KP Security. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow and my internal clock was also a bit...
1 a.m., that's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct?
It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure.
It's not, though. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere.
Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters, then?
Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? Squeeze it. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000.
Money, eh? A perfect motive for committing murder.
Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway!
Oh, is that right?
After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of.
An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony.
Yes, sir. A muddy mud skipper in the outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. Thread? I think they misspelled that. There was this little thread in my shirt that was trying to blackmail me. But it wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. I just snipped it off. Yeah, exactly. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway?
The blackmail letter said, if you don't want your identity revealed, correct?
I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask-to-mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullard didn't have anything on me.
He didn't?
Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. Just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Mrs. Delight didn't believe he was mask to mask.
Desi's in the audience like, I love you, baby!
Oh, I guess it is Miss Delight, isn't it? That's why I knew they were just hollow threats, not threads. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. You used to be security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right.
A security chief? You?
And yet, a year ago you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge. A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say?
That's all I can say.
I can only This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well,
The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I'd never asked that. Like when Emma wondered what furry was.
Oh no.
Defendant, please answer the question.
I needed money.
You needed money?
Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby.
Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick?
My salary wasn't nearly enough. So I stole data from the company.
Wow, that's actually kind of a big deal these days.
Yeah.
Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief...
You stole some data and sold it.
Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately.
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Yeah. What? I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own.
What is it, Nick? You don't look so good.
Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment.
That's being let off easy. Like,
Yeah.
Like he didn't get sued and like put in prison.
Mm-hmm. You do well to remember that.
He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Oh, well, that's okay.
How about all those people whose lives you endangered?
Yeah. This is a very important fact. He is sorry. Please add it to your
Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up.
It would be funny if the judge was like, alright, it's pretty clear that he did what he did, but he did say he was sorry, so he's innocent.
We should let him. He's apologetic. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster.
Luckily, I just happen to have the jaws of life right here in my pocket.
Jaws
here
of
in
life,
the
add it
court
to
record.
You've hired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that.
I do now. I'm in the audience.
I do now, you asshole! Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby. What else? I just told you, like literally a minute ago. Wasting money, huh? No, not wasting money. It's not a waste!
So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she?
So it would seem.
I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. Yeah.
They're bad. Like, it's a shame because in the beginning I kind of like their dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, but when you learn all this shit and then one other thing that happens at the very end, I just can't like these two at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe it. This case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples.
Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright.
I can't!
There wasn't much to his testimony, was there?
Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me.
Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We'd better be careful.
But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never be able to eat those beans. We'll never be able to get closer to the truth.
Yeah.
Why would you eat beans when you got sushi burgers?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Eat your hamburgers,
Bean
Apollo.
burgers, bean sushi. Yeah, blackmail threat and all that. It's you know, it was in my clothing. It was not causing trouble. Ah! Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday.
You didn't mention any threads yesterday.
Huh? What doesn't? What doesn't? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out about your secret.
A certain person.
Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife.
I'm actually surprised they didn't make you go into, like, select the profile of the person.
Wow! But I listen to me, my Desi, she's.
Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins.
Gato!
Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault.
What do you mean?
Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about.
Oh.
No, everything is falling neatly into place for him.
Huh.
Don't talk about my Desi like that! Or you'll be sorry! I'll kill you!
I'll kill you just like I killed the CEO!
I swear I'll kill everyone in this room! I'm not crazy!
Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick?
I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. And I've been up against Francisca.
Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much.
Yeah.
The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears.
I'm a human, not an ear.
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
See ya! Bye!
It's dangerous to go alone. A cell phone? I was not expecting that sort of technology here. Still, it does remind me once again of Earthbound and all the people you would need to call. Let's test this. I have a bandage for armor. That's cute. And yeah, it does remind me a little of Earthbound in that one aspect. Flirt? Yes, I do. You're adorable. God, see, I was planning on, you know, once the decision came, I don't know if something you have to do from the get-go to try this so-called genocide route. You know, since I need to take my rightful place as ruler, but she's too sweet. I don't want to disappoint her.